Good evening and welcome to Frederick High School. It's hard to believe that we are back. I was saying to some teachers today, it seems like every summer we start sooner and sooner, and they looked at me, that's because every summer we start sooner and sooner. So I'm really excited to be seeing you here. High school is a very exciting time. It is also can be a very confusing time. So my hope is that when you walk out of here, this presentation is about 20 minutes long, that we answer some of your questions, but please know the assistant principals, the school counselors, we will all be here, so if we don't hit your question during this presentation, just come on up and we will get you the information that you need. So our first slide, high school is a place where academic expectations are raised significantly. Academic exploration takes on a new sense of urgency, personal character is tested, and if necessarily, recreated. One of the big differences between high school and middle school that we try to tell freshmen, for the most part, from grades K through 8, you get promoted every year, mostly based upon age. There are exceptions here and there, but for the most part, you move to the next level at the end of the year. High school is not that way. You have to earn credits to be promoted to the next level. So for example, this year, freshmen, you will have the opportunity to earn a minimum of 8 credits. You can actually earn up to 10, but a minimum of 8 credits. You need to earn at least 6 to be sophomores the following year. You need to keep a certain attendance level to pass your classes, and we'll go a little deeper into the presentation about that. But the big takeaway that grades and attendance are probably the two most important things. Hold on, let me switch microphones. Hopefully that's a little better. So my name is David Franceschina. I am the principal here at Frederick High School. I was an assistant principal here for 4 years, and this is my 5th year as principal. Very excited to be here. I know I say this in just about every presentation, but I'm very proud to say this. I've worked as either a teacher or an administrator in just about every feeder pattern in our school system. I haven't checked off the Brunswick or the Oakdale box yet, but everybody else I've been in, and I gotta say, Frederick High School has been by far my favorite school to work in. We have some of the best teachers here, absolutely the best students. This is such a wonderful community. Freshmen, I am so excited for you, the journey you're about to take. I am blessed here to have an awesome AP team, and the way that the APs work is they will work with your student based on your last name. So if you have the last name A through C, you'll be working with Miss Murphy. If you have the last name D through K, you'll be working with Miss Hackett. If you have the last name L through Q, you'll be working with Dr. Danny Rump. If you have the last name R through Z, you will be working with Miss O'Neill. And if there's anybody here in the past, you may recognize Miss O'Neill. She was a teacher with us, and we're very excited that she's joining us as assistant principal. And if you are an EL student, any last name, you'll be working with Mr. Chari. And one thing I try to tell students and parents, just because the assistant principal calls does not necessarily mean it's a bad thing. Sometimes it does. But they are here to help you. If you're having problems with a teacher, you need help communicating something, you want to start a club, your assistant principal is your first line of attack that you're going to go to, and they will get you what you need. And freshmen, we're going to meet with the entire freshman class, I think it's the 2nd or 3rd day of school. Well, you get to know your APs a little bit better. Some other important names, and I apologize, please don't feel that you have to write any of this down. This presentation, the slides are going to be posted to the webpage, hopefully by tomorrow, no later than Monday. And we have somebody recording this as well, so a video of this presentation with me talking will also be posted to the website. So please don't feel that you have to take notes. But cell phone pictures do help. So important people that you may want to get in touch with, if you have a 504 plan, that's Miss O'Neill or Miss Casey Bird. If your student has a IEP, special education plan, our special education program assistant, Ms. Jing Tran, will reach out to you to schedule the meetings. And we have a slide too that will tell you where you can go tonight if you want to meet your case manager. Mission statement at Frederick High School, the purpose of why we're here. Frederick High School will prepare students to make a purposeful impact on the world around them through programs that emphasize college and career readiness, faculty trained in a high-impact instructional technique and growing a student body that values diversity and self-advocacy. Now I'm going to invite a couple people up to speak to you. First is our SGA president, Ms. Sui Sung.
Hi, my name is Sui Sung, and on behalf of the Frederick High School Student Government Association, I'd like to extend a warm welcome to all our families. So you might be very nervous for the school year, but trust me, you'll fit in just soon enough. It's very easy to get along and make friends here. And I want you to remember that you don't have to be the most athletic or the top scholar in your class to fit in. We have a lot of clubs, we have a lot of different programs that you can do, so you'll find a place for you somewhere here, I promise. I'd like to remind you that a huge component of our school is our school spirit, and we take pride in said spirit. And once we get towards October, you will get to experience that firsthand during our Spirit Week. Last reminder is that SGA is a liaison between the students and administration, so if you have any concerns at all, don't be shy. You can always reach out to me, and I will help you, and we will try to get you the help you need. So you'll see a lot of our SGA members outside once you get onto your tours. They are at your service, please use them. They are very knowledgeable, and they will have yellow signs with their names, and we also have some that speak Spanish for those who need it. But yeah, I hope you enjoy tonight, and thank you for giving me your time.
We have somebody from our not SGA, our PTSA.
Hi, good evening. My name is Melanie Gettier, and I'm with the PTSA, the Parent Teacher Student Association here at Frederick High. So welcome new parents, and if there's any returning parents, welcome. So basically, in a nutshell, we are here. We exist to really support the students at Frederick High and the staff to help keep Frederick High a strong and thriving school. So we coordinate several events throughout the year that give support to students and staff. One example is Care for Kids. That happens in late fall, and that's a drive where we collect personal care items and toiletries for students in need. We also help fund scholarships for graduating seniors, deserving graduating seniors in May. We support the academic award. We help to support the academic award ceremony in the fall here at Frederick High. We host several staff appreciation meals to give thanks to the wonderful staff here at Frederick High. And then we also facilitate an art contest, the Reflections Art Contest, which you probably were familiar with in middle and elementary school, but that's a national PTA program that encourages creativity among high school students. So come to our monthly meetings. We'll have them this year on the third Tuesday of each month at 6 p.m. in the Heritage Room, but you'll also be able to tune in with a Zoom code. But that is a great way to stay informed. Principal Francescina usually comes to all the meetings. It's a great way to find out what's happening, to express concerns or ask questions or come up with ideas. So please, and even if you come to one meeting, that's great. You can look for these reminders about the meetings or events that we have throughout the year through Find Out First messages from the school, emails directly from the PTA if you sign up to become a member. Also, our Facebook and Instagram. You can look for Frederick High PTSA and follow us on Facebook and Instagram. And of course, the Cadet Messenger. That comes out towards the end of each week. That is such a great and helpful resource for everything going on at the school, but the PTA section is in there as well. So best wishes for a really great year, and our PTA table is just right outside of the store if you want to stop by our table and get any more info or join. Thanks.
And I will step aside for a second. If you want more information or you want to join the PTA and skip the line, if you just want to take a picture of this slide with the QR code with your phone, that'll get you where you need to be. That was a couple years in the making. We're very proud of that. Okay. So, next step. your school counselors. Just like the assistant principals, school counselors are broken up by caseload. So if you have the last name A through CO, you'll be working with Miss Alexander. If you have the last name CR through HA, you'll be working with Miss S. Anderson. If you have the last name HE to ME, you'll be, oh, he, me, look how that worked out. If you have last name HE through ME, you'll be working with Miss L. Anderson. If you have the last name MI through O, you'll be working with Miss Lombardi. If you have the last name P through R, or you're an EL student with the last name S through Z, you'll be working with Dr. Foster. And if you have the last name S through Z, you'll be working with Mr. Claney. And if you have the last name A through R and you are an EL student, you will be working with Miss Wismer. These are all great resources for you students if you just need somebody to talk to. Again, you need a little help navigating a class. You have an idea about a class you might want to take in the future. Your school counselors are the ones that will help you with that. Freshmen, when this presentation is over, your school counselors will be out in the lobby, kind of against the back glass where the courtyard is. They will have copies of your schedule if you don't have a device where you can access your schedule on Schoology. Additional school-based staff. Probably the most popular person in the building is Coach Kivette Hammond. She is the coordinator of athletics and facilities. She is the athletic director. So if you have questions about the athletic program, Coach Hammond is the person you go to. Miss Bird is our behavioral support specialist. Miss Mejia is our community liaison. She is also a Spanish speaker. So if you need to call the school and you need to speak with somebody who speaks Spanish, all you have to do is ask in Spanish and they will pass you back to Miss Mejia. Nicole Nagame is our CAS worker, Danny Wren, our pupil personnel worker, and we are very lucky to have, who in my humble opinion is one of the best SROs, maybe you might have met him a couple nights ago, came to school, is Deputy Robert Eiler. And parents and students, Deputy Eiler is here as, he's an advisory, he doesn't do discipline, he is just somebody that walks around to make sure that we're all safe. And if you're having any community issues or you need any help navigating the legal system, Deputy Eiler can be your guy. So just call the school, ask to speak to the SRO, and we will put you in touch with Deputy Eiler. As I said, if you have a special education plan, an IEP, and you would like to talk to your case manager tonight, if you go up to room 224, all of our case managers are up there. If you want to introduce yourself, feel free to do that. And with that, I'm going to invite Miss Lombardi up, who's going to go into a little bit of the nuts and bolts. Like I was saying, the promotion, it's not just age, you have to earn credit. So Miss Lombardi is going to navigate those waters for us.
Thank you very much. Good evening, everyone. So we know tonight is all about making a smooth transition into the high school years. But this is really kind of the method behind the madness in terms of graduation requirements and how we create your schedules. So for 25 credits, 4 English credits, 1 each year, 4 math credits, 1 each year with algebra and geometry. Even if you have 4 credits by the time you are a senior, you must take a math every year. 3 credits in science, 1 being biology. 3 credits in social studies, government, modern world, and American studies. And the order that goes in is we start with American studies with, for our freshmen, transitioning into government, and then into modern world history. A fine art credit, a credit in technology education, which is now called engineering design application, previously called foundations of technology. Also, we have a half credit in fitness, a half a credit in health, and a new half credit in fitness that will be your junior year. I'm sorry, a new half credit in health, which will be your junior year. So we're calling that like a health 1 and a health 2. Half credit in your financial literacy, 2+ in your completer program. And the completer program is that group of classes that help prepare you for what you want to do after high school. We'll be going into a lot more detail throughout 4 years, especially during registration time. So, for example, though, if you're thinking about going into a 4-year college, then you would have to have 2 credits of a world language and Algebra 2 or beyond. If we're thinking about a career tech option, then we have a lot of classes here, not only here, but also at the Career Tech Center. All the remaining classes would be considered elective credits and career pathways, and Frederick County is currently developing some new formats that will kind of help you with the roadmap, taking a look at some career pathways and some recommended classes throughout your 4 years. So look forward to some of those things coming. Also, graduation requirements will be including state mandated testing, as well as 75 student service learning hours. Again, we will meet with your students every year at least once, going over all of these graduation requirements. All right, in terms of schedule changes, they are very few, especially at the freshman level, just because our goal is to get as many graduation requirements out of the way for you early, so you have a lot more room in your schedule, your junior and senior year, to take advantage of all the opportunities that we have to offer here for Frederick County. However, if you are in need of a schedule change, these are some of the reasons. For example, if there is Spanish 2 instead of Spanish 1, if you feel maybe you have been incorrectly placed level-wise, if you may have earned a credit previously and you are in that class again, or maybe you were not successful earning a credit and you do not see that class back on your schedule and you know you need to take that as a graduation requirement. So these are some of the reasons why we would change a schedule. Students can get a schedule change form in the counseling office next week. If there are any issues, you will have the opportunity to take a look at your schedule tonight. If you do see any glaring issues, please reach out to your counselor. Although we will not be able to make schedule changes on the spot tonight, we will at least take the information down and make sure we get those changes taken care of for you ASAP.
So thank you, Ms. Lombardi. And when we talk about schedule changes, it's when you come to us for a schedule change, we don't say no because we enjoy saying no. When we're staffed for a certain number of students. This building, the teaching staff was staffed for 1,750 kids, 1,750 kids. Yep. We're going to open around 1810. We've had a lot of enrollments over the summer, so the padding that we work into the schedule is pretty much gone. And you may have heard about the teacher shortage. I can't create classes. I'm very happy to say that as of, what's today, Thursday? So as of 2 days ago, we have a full teaching staff. Not a lot of schools can say that, but Frederick High School, we are fully staffed with teachers. We do still have some support staff openings, so if you are interested in being a special education assistant, being an instructional assistant, being a cafeteria worker, bus driver, there are openings that we are looking to hire for immediately. So visit the FCPS website and we can get you what you need. Now, one of the most exciting aspects of Frederick High School is we are a LINK school. What LINK stands for is Linking Youth to New Experiences. Every student that walks through the doors at Frederick High School is a LINK student. Some people think when they hear LINKs, well, that's a program like the IB program or the arts program at TJ, where only a certain amount of kids can get into it. LINKs is for every student. That's important to remember. And you guys are going to get, in my humble opinion, a better experience than just about every other school in the district. We do some awesome things here because of LINKs. Dr. Rumpf, I'm going to give the microphone over to. He is overseeing LINKs this year, and he's going to talk to you a little bit about it. This is just a very high up level. If you want to dive deeper into LINKs, if you go to our website, you can learn more about it. Shoot an assistant principal an email, a counselor an email, and again, we'll get you the information you need. Dr. Rumpf.
All right, hello everybody. So, sorry, click too many clicks. All right, so here's kind of the premise of the networks of advocates. So, Links for your child has actually already started. It started in the 8th grade at the middle school. We started talking about interest and plans and filling out what plans they would like to do post-high school. Each year, it's going to look a little different through their advocacy. Each year, they're going to work with advocates. I'll explain their role here in a minute. Some of the stuff within Links is optional, but once they hit Advocacy 2, this is where we really focus on interviewing skills. How do you build a resume? Other than that, those students can select what experiences they want to do. A Here's our advocacy team. I did not see any of them walk in, but or else I would introduce them. They will be on the 3rd floor. These are the ones that will be kind of in and out of your child's advocacy class, working with them. They're going to use their interest surveys to say, hey, I noticed you were interested in landscaping management. We have these experiences coming up you might be interested in. All right, they also run our after-school learning lab, which is another time to connect and talk about experiences they can go on. Innovative learning, which is called credit by demonstrated mastery. So this is something very unique to this program. This is an opportunity where if you are already participating in an FCPS sport, are you in a marching band, do you do performing ensembles outside of school? If so, it's a possibility that you could earn high school credit for that activity you're already doing. So you might not have to sit through a PE class if you're already with an FCPS athletic team. If you are interested in that, speak to your counselor, come see me. We can tell you there's a little bit of extra stuff you have to do and some paperwork to make sure we hit all the indicators that are required by the state. All right, habits of work, something very, very unique to Frederick High School. This you will see anytime you log into your child's Schoology. Habits of work gives you a wonderful snapshot of what your child is doing in class. It does not go in their transcripts. It does not go to colleges. You and your child and the teacher are the only one that's going to see these. So usually you would log in and you see, oh, my child has an 85% in math. What's going on? Habits of work is going to help you with that. It talks about independence, effort, attendance, social responsibility. 3 and 4s are what we like to see. So 1s and 2s, that's where you might want to have a conversation with your child, reach out to the teacher and go, hey, what's this 2 about in effort in math? What's going on? And CBE, so this is a totally different grading system than probably what you're used to. So CBE is a competency-based education. There's the 5 components of it. I don't want to take time reading it to you, but it's really looking at that feedback loop assessment cycle. So they're going to do formative assessment, that's kind of their classwork and homework, that feedback and conferencing with the teacher before they take that summative, which is the overall large assignment that's counting for 80% of their grade. And then based on that, because we're trying to measure your child's understanding of the content, not the content on the first try, there can be a reassessment as part of that. Links experiences, this is the best thing. I highly encourage every student in here to get involved in these links experiences. This is I'm interested in opening a bake shop. All right, well, let's go to a bake shop, work with a baker, see what it's like, get in there and bake something. That's links experiences. We have some business partners come into the building, meet with kids, talk about it, here's what the day-to-day looks like, and some of them, we go to their business. We have about 50-some links partners that we work with here in the community that will come in and help with these experiences. These are ever evolving because they're 100% based on the students' needs. All right, here's some of the experiences we've had in the past. So pharmaceutical, you want to be a teacher, you want to work in ag. What are you hoping to do? It's a great way, it's a great way to also network. I can tell you, I know of one student last year who went on a links experience in computer science and it ended up leading to an internship with her just because of talking to the business owners. In Schoology, your child will have access to the links 2023 school year links hub. Every month, this is going to be updated. Ask your student, please log in and let me see the links experience calendar. This will tell you everything we are doing for the month, what colleges are coming to visit, which experiences are off campus, which ones are on campus. There is no harm in going to something that you think you would love, and you're like, wow, that's not at all what I thought it was. That's the point of these links experiences. All right, I'll turn it back to you, Doctor.
So links can be a lot to take in at first blush. So if you have questions, come and ask us about it. The main point of links is I never want a student leaving Frederick High School to know for certain, this is what I'm going to major in, or this is what I'm going to do after high school. But what I would like them is to have some pretty strong choices. What I don't want is, if you're like me, you go to college and You decide you're going to do this, you take 2 years worth of classes, and then you find out whatever this was, oh, I want nothing to do with that, and then you got to start all over again in college. We want students to be leaving here with a more realistic idea of here are the opportunities available to you when you do leave high school. So moving on, this is our bell schedule. First block starts at 7:30. Buses drop off. Most buses drop off at 7, so our doors do open at 7. Please do not drop off your student before 7 o'clock because we don't have people on duty, so the doors don't open until 7. The students have the opportunity to get breakfast, hang out with their friends until 7:15. At 7:15, a bell rings and you will go to first block. And then you can see how it goes down the line from there. One thing that does make Frederick High School different than every other high school in the district, we do have a 5th block. Many of you signed up for an additional class because you decided your junior or your senior year, you wanted to have some requirements out of the way so you could take internships. So you would have more opportunities to go to FCC, go to Hood, go to Mount St. Mary's, and get additional coursework on the college level. So instead of earning 8 credits, you're going to earn 9 credits or 10 credits. Any student that stays after for block 5, we do have a bus ride home for you. We also have a free supper. Free supper is available to any Frederick High School student. So if you're an athlete and maybe you have a later practice time, coach isn't available until 4:30, go to our Learning Lab. Learning Lab is something that happens up in our media center from 2:20 to 3:40. It is staffed with certified teachers, so it is a great way to knock out all your homework. Maybe you want to do a reassessment. You know you didn't do so hot on a test, so you work with a teacher so you could retake that test. You can get that all done in Learning Lab. At Frederick High School, we have a setup for you where you can get all your work done here, and when you go home, all homework is done because you got it done at Frederick High. So Learning Lab is available to anybody that wants to stay after, and students will go out, we'll go into the nuts and bolts how you sign up for Learning Lab during the first week of school. But parents, please know, this answers the question, my kid needs additional tutoring, what can they do? Have them stay after for Learning Lab. They will get a bus ride home and we will feed them before we put them on that bus. So Learning Lab is a great opportunity for your kids. Pick up and drop off. My little laser pointer's not working up there, but if you can read this, the green is where faculty parks, the yellow, so if I am looking out right now, this side is where faculty parks, this side is where student parks. Parents, please, 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 do not cut the car line and go into the faculty parking lot. We have had incidences where teachers have almost been run over or students have been almost hit because parents are dropping kids off and it is not safe there. When you arrive, and I would plan to arrive to Frederick High at about 7 o'clock. The traffic line does tend to get long. This is a beautiful, wonderful building. My only criticism of it, besides the fact it gets really, really cold, as you're walking around, this is kind of warm. This is a very cold building. But the traffic pattern is not the best in the world. We've played around with it every way we can. This is kind of the best that we can do. If you are arriving, if you're just pulling onto campus at 7:15, you are probably going to be late to class. So that line, I've seen that line back out all the way to Klein Boulevard in the past. So please try to get here. We are going to be forgiving with attendance for the first couple days, but it is important that kids are in class on time, ready to learn at 7:30. My other plea, parents, are please don't drop them off in the back of the building where the buses drop off. Again, over the years, we've had some close calls with buses and dropping their students off. The safest way to go is just drop them off at the front of the building. So reading your schedule. If you have a Schoology schedule, right now what you can just see in Schoology are your 4 classes in advocacy fall. If you're going to get a paper copy of your schedule from the school counselors, you will see the entire year. For the purposes of today's walkthrough, you're going to want to look at the column where it says marking period. M1 and M2, that is this semester. So for this schedule, this student, they have biology for first block, they have Digicom for second block, third block they have publications, and fourth block they have government honors. That will list who your teacher is and what the room numbers are. So when this presentation is done, you can head out. We have SGA students, we have Links ambassadors that can sort of direct you around. When you do look at the room number, if it starts with a 1, it's on the first floor. If it starts with a 2, it's on the second floor. And if it starts with a 3, it's on the third floor. If you have a performing arts class, a music class, they're all on this wing over here. The athletics classes, you'll see the gym, they're over there. Their career and technology classes, they're over on that side. Hopefully by now you've gotten familiar with Schoology. The makeup of it has not changed since middle school. So parents, high school is a place where, and I guess middle school, and students, I don't mean to offer offense here. A million years ago I was a student too. But the older we get, the more we try to push mom and dad away. No, I don't need your help. They need your help now. So parents ask me all the time, what can I do to help my student be successful? Every week, ask them, open up your Chromebook, show me your grades. All of their grades are available to see in Schoology. All the assignments that teachers post are available in Schoology. You can literally see 99.9% of everything that goes on in the classroom in Schoology. Ask your students to open up that Chromebook and show me what was going on in class, and then talk about things like habits of work. Hey David, I see that you have a C in algebra, what's going on? You look at the gradebook, you're missing some assignments. Well, why is that? Start having those conversations with your students now. Attendance. Attendance is very, 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 very important. We categorize it as lawful absence, unlawful absence. Those are the two ones. Unlawful absence is when a student comes in and doesn't have a reason for being out. Lawful absence obviously is with a note. So whenever you miss school, please come back with a note that you can turn into the attendance office so we can make your absence lawful. Reason being, a student may fail or lose credit if unlawful absences exceed 5 days in a term or 10 days in a semester. So what that means is, if I miss 11 days illegally in algebra, and even if I have an A in algebra, I'm still going to fail that class. You have got to be here. You've got to be here on time, and you've got to be here. And please note, that's not a Frederick County thing. That's a state of Maryland thing. You've got to be in class every day. If you're not, you got to have a note. As it says, a note from a doctor or dentist, half-days absences do accumulate towards total absences. And finally, students who arrive after 9 a.m. may not participate in any extracurricular activities that day without administrative waiver or approval. And, we understand that, life does happen, so we will work with you, but notes make it help. So if you have a dentist appointment and you're a football player, get a note from that dentist, so when you come back to school and it's after 9 o'clock, we're going to have you give that note to Coach Hammond so she can tell your coach that you can play. I would hate for us to have to forfeit a match that we win because we had an ineligible player on the field. So if you are going to be late to school, you participate in extracurricular activities, bring that note in so we can get you approved so you can participate. We just talked about this. So if you are late or you need to talk to somebody in the attendance office, there's the phone number. Feel free to take a picture of that slide or check out the slide online in the morning. So you can call or email and we'll take care of you. We do place, I don't know if they were doing this in the middle school, but we have a One Call Now system. So we will make automated attendance phone calls will be made one time a day at the end of every school day. And what the computer does is it pulls the number that you've entered out of eSchool. So if you have a student that was marked unlawfully absent from one or more of their classes, you will get a phone call and or text. So if you drop David off in the morning and you pick up David, and then as you're driving home, you get the beeper, David was not in blocks 3 or 4. It might be an interesting ride home for David. You may want to ask him where he was during blocks 3 and 4. So whenever unfortunately years ago, the district took away the ability for parents to come in and see students' attendance online. But if you ever have any questions about your child's attendance, you get a phone call and this doesn't make sense. I dropped him off at school. Call the school, ask for your child's assistant principal, and they will pull up the record and they will tell you exactly what's going on. Late arrivals, the students who arrive in their period 1 class after 7:30 bell are considered late. Students arrive after 7:30 should report to the attendance office where their lateness will be recorded. Students should always have a note explaining why they are tardy. Progressive discipline will be followed for continued lateness to school. And I don't want to turn this meeting into a downer, but students, again, it is important that you are on time. If you are late, bring in a note for mom and dad so we don't have to apply progressive discipline. And when I say progressive discipline, detention, Saturday school, and a bunch of other fun stuff. Please know that that is not a legal absence. I slept in late. That is not a legal absence. Now, there are times that if there's a bad storm going on or something like that, I will get on the loudspeaker and say amnesty, and we just let kids go to class. But, you know, it's a sunny day out, and oh, I'm sorry, I wanted to hit the McDonald's drive-thru before we got to school, and then I hit traffic. That's not a legal absence. So please plan on being here at 7 o'clock in the morning. We're not going to start applying discipline for lateness until Monday. You guys come back on a Wednesday. We're giving freebies because families need to figure out this is what the traffic pattern looks like on a Wednesday. Let's see what it's like on Thursday and Friday. So you can start to gauge what time you do have to leave the house. But we will start applying progressive discipline for lates on that Monday. Early dismissal, and you can read as I talk. The big takeaway from this one is students, you cannot walk out of this building without letting us know. So if you have a doctor's appointment, a dentist appointment, you can't just say, well, mom said she'll meet me in the parking lot at 2 o'clock and just get up and go. Or my lunch is done, mom said to meet me on the other side of the park and just walk out of the building. You need to clear that with us because we are responsible for you until a parent or guardian says, we got this. So if you just walk out of the building without us knowing, we're going to treat that like a class cut. So if you do need to leave early, bring in a note, have a parent or guardian call the school and say, hey, please dismiss David at this time. We will give you a pass. When it's time to go, you give the pass to your teacher. You come downstairs to the front office, you show them your pass, and you go. Parents, if you want to come pick up your student early, you can absolutely do that. We ask that you come to the front office, have a photo ID. We don't mean this as any insult, but just it's the world we live in, so we do not want to release a child to anybody that is not in e-school. So the only people that we can release a student to in e-school are the people listed. So that's the parent, the guardian, and the emergency contacts. So if you can't just have a random neighbor or a random friend come pick up your child, they have to be on the e-school list. If you need to make an exception to that somebody needs to come pick up, call the school, ask for the assistant principal. The assistant principal will confirm that you are really the parent or the guardian and that you have given permission for this individual to come pick up your child, and just have that individual bring a student ID, a picture ID. Attendance at after-school events. Students, this is an important one. Students must have at least 85% attendance to attend after-school dances. So the first big one coming up is homecoming. So homecoming is October 29th. That means you cannot miss any more than 7 days to be eligible to attend. Now, obviously, life does happen. So if you are past that threshold and you feel that you had a lawful reason or a good reason, perhaps you took a legal vacation, or you went on a college visit, or you had a family crisis you needed to take care of at home, come see your assistant principal and we will see if we can work with you. But for the most part, it is 85% attendance. Attendance matters. Students who are suspended for a violent act or incident involving drugs or alcohol could also receive an activity suspension for a semester or the school year. So what that means is you bring drugs to school, you bring alcohol to school, you get in a fight, you're not coming to any after-school events. Now, you can participate as an athlete, you could participate in the club, but you can't come as a spectator. So Friday nights, if you've made a silly mistake, you can't come and sit in the crowd. And anyone attending, so this is 3-4 years down the road, but anyone attending prom must settle all financial obligations prior to purchasing the ticket. Eligibility, this is something that's also very important. If you are going to participate in an after-school activity, you have to be eligible. To be eligible for clubs, extracurricular athletics, and field trips, students must have a minimum GPA of 2.0 with no failing grades. Now, freshmen, all freshmen are academically eligible until the end of term 1. One thing that I told students during our freshman orientation, high school is a great way to reset everything. So if your grades weren't so hot in the middle school, everybody walks into this building on Wednesday with straight A's. Keep it going. Students may become ineligible at the end of term 1 and 3 and semester 1 and 2. And fortunately, there are more opportunities to become eligible, so that will be, you'll have the opportunity to earn it back at the end of term 1, 3, semester 1, and 2. If you are involved in athletics, hopefully your coaches have gone over this with you, and coaches do their best to monitor the grades. But at the end of the day, students, we're in high school now, it's on you. You've got to keep your grades up. Grades first, academics second. Clubs. In the past, we've had over 50 clubs here at Frederick High School. If you look at the club list on August 22nd during your lunch, you're going to have the opportunity to sign up for a club. If you don't see a club that interests you, but you have an idea, come see Dr. Rumpf, and he will tell you how to start the club. Most of our best clubs have been started by students. So if you don't see something that you like, but you want to get involved with something, get your friends together, go see Dr. Rumpf, and he will tell you how you can start the club process. Clubs do meet during advocacy and after school. We have a wide variety of athletics here at Frederick High School. Fall sports began yesterday, I believe. So those tryouts are going on right now. Winter sports, spring sports, and unified sports. Again, if you have any questions about athletics, Coach Hammond is out there. She can get you the information you need. We also have a very robust performing arts program here. So marching band, concert band, orchestra, concert and mixed choir, show choir, winter, spring, and drama production. I used to be a band teacher before I was an administrator, so I have a soft spot for this slide. But this is a great way of getting involved with your school as well. Dress code. Yes, there is a dress code at Frederick High School, and I do believe tax-free shopping in Maryland is starting. It's either starting soon or already started. So, moral of the story is with the dress code. I won't bore you with word for word, but dress to learn. We're not coming here going to the clubs. We're not coming here to go to the beach. And remember, this is a very, very cold building. So sometimes we do run into problems, which I lovingly call too much student, not enough fabric. So just take a look and remember, if you wouldn't wear it to a job interview, and I'm not saying you have to wear a shirt and tie. I tell my administrators, if you ever see me wearing a tie, it means the superintendent is coming. But dress comfortable, casual. The big ones are clothing with offensive, obscene language, pictures or words depicting violence, disrespect, sex, nudity, drugs, gang affiliation, alcohol, or weapons will not be tolerated. That is a hard line in the sand for me. So if you are wearing something that is offensive, you are going to have a meeting with an assistant principal, and we're going to have to figure out a way to get you dressed properly and get you back to class as soon as possible. Drugs and alcohol, hopefully this is a no-brainer. Please don't bring drugs and alcohol into this building. You cannot be in this building under the influence of drugs or alcohol. Most cases of drugs and alcohol, you're looking at a minimum 5-day suspension. It's just not a good thing. Also, you will be barred from any extracurricular activity. Do not bring drugs and alcohol into this building. Weapon policy, this is another hard line in the sand. Weapons are not permitted in this building or any Frederick County public schools. You bring a weapon into this building, you're not coming back to Frederick High School, and you're probably not coming back to another Frederick County public school. Zero tolerance on weapons. Guns, knives, anything that's going to harm anybody. Do not bring it into this building. You know what? Thank you, Ms. Hackett. Another thing, too, I understand that the handful of times, not in this building, that I've had to deal with weapons in school, it has been from students that go hunting, and I have nothing wrong with hunting. If you're a hunter, have at it. But just remember to clean out your car before you come onto campus. It's been students that they've left their rifles in the car and forgot, and it's just the day that the deputy is doing the sweep through the parking lot, and it turns into a very uncomfortable conversation. So cars count as well. Cell phones. Okay, parents. So, like I told you, sometimes parents will ask me, what can we do to help you? Because school is a partnership. Parents, I need your help with this. Cell phones are out of control. I understand that this is 2022 and students have cell phones. All 3 of my kids have cell phones. I have a cell phone. I don't know how it works, but I have a cell phone. Cell phones are to be off and out of sight during class, blocks 1, 2, 3, and 4. Students are permitted to use their phones during the transitions. They can use their phones before school. They can use their phones after school. They can use their phones at lunch. But we had a meeting today as a faculty, and cell phones are not going to be permitted to be on and out during class. If you can go over that with your student, that would be very helpful. The other thing, and again, I am a parent myself, and this is, I am throwing stones into the glass house, or however it's called, because I've been guilty of doing this too, texting my kid when they're in the middle of class. Please don't do that. If you need to get a hold of your student, call the school and we will get them on the phone within 30 seconds. Or take a look at the schedule and know that, oh, there's a transition during this time, or my kid has lunch during this time, this is when I will text them. Please don't text them in class, please don't call them in class. We're trying really, really hard. Most of our issues that we've had with behavior, when we boil it down, it goes back to those cell phones. And one of the big reasons why we are here is we want face-to-face interaction. We all lived through the nightmare that was online learning. We said that we don't want to be on a screen, we want face-to-face interaction with a human. So this is your opportunity to have face-to-face interaction with a human, whether it be your teacher or your peers. Don't blow the opportunity by flipping out your phone and being on Snapchat or TikTok or the 5 other things that I have no idea what they are. School is not the time for the phone, so please put the phone off, put it in your pocket. You can check it out at lunch, check it out during the transitions. School nurse and medical issues. If you need to drop off medication for your student, it's important to know that students cannot self-medicate and students cannot bring medicine in. As crazy as it sounds, that goes all the way down to Tylenol. Kids cannot have medication in the building. If you do need to, if your child is on a prescription, we have many students that when it's lunchtime, they need to take a prescription of some sort. Call our health nurse and she will give you the forms. You get your doctor to sign off on it. You, the guardian, bring the prescription into the building. We lock it up in the health room and we arrange it that way. Kids cannot self-medicate. Bullying and harassment. This is another no-no. We have a zero tolerance to bullying. I got into education because I enjoy working with students. It's the highlight of my day to work with students. There's not a whole lot they can do that makes me cranky, and they've done some really weird stuff over the years. But the stuff that does make me cranky is this, bullying and harassment. Every child that walks into this building has the right to an uninterrupted education. So if you feel that you are being bullied and harassed, we have a process that can help make it better. Talk to your assistant principal. If you have a friend that is being bullied and that friend may not want to say anything, say something. Bring your friend in and talk to the assistant principal, or you can come talk to the assistant principal and we will do what we can. Parents, if you go to the FCPS website, fcps.org, there is a form on there that you can click and you can fill out the bullying and harassment form for your child. I'm very happy to say that out of all the high schools I've worked at, Frederick High School has been the least amount of bullying and harassment that I've seen. But occasionally we do have students that make poor choices, and we do have to work with both the bully and the bullier, bullyee and bullier, to resolve the situation. COVID protocols, and I say as of 8/11, which is today, and this could totally change because that's the world we live in. But what we ask is please report any symptoms to the school. If you are displaying any COVID-like symptoms, please stay home and contact the school immediately so we can talk about isolation protocol and a plan to get you back to class as soon as possible. We encourage social distancing, but as I said, we have over 1,800 students in this school. It's very hard to do. And mask wearing is optional, with the exception of students returning to school after an isolation period must wear a mask for 5 days. After 5 days, they may choose to continue to wear a mask or not. And I don't know what it's going to look like this year, so masks were optional for the majority of last year. I'd say it was about 50-50. So, but if you're going to wear a mask, if you're not going to wear a mask, that is a family decision as long as you're not coming back from isolation. Breakfast and lunch. This slide is actually wrong now because I got an email. So, unfortunately, the federal program that paid for everybody to get a school lunch was discontinued over the summer. So we are back to, we do have to charge students for lunch. What is wrong about this slide was Frederick High School was selected by a group in the state of Maryland. We will be able to provide a free breakfast to every student that walks in the building. So your student will not have to pay for a breakfast. If your student is staying after for supper, for dinner, that is free for every student. The only thing that you do have to pay for is lunch. And Mom and Dad, again, once you're done talking about grades, once you're talking about putting away your cell phone, if you can help me with this too, outside food via Grubhub, DoorDash, they are not allowed. So please, if your kid calls you and says, Mom, I'm hungry, can you Grubhub me a Big Mac? The answer is no, because what's going to happen is it's going to be delivered to the front office. Mr. Reed is going to call me and say, there's a Big Mac here, and I am going to eat it. So please, I'm trying to lose weight. I have eaten I ate a whole pizza last year. It was disgusting. Do not Grubhub. And the reason behind that one is we want to be sure who's coming into our building are the right people. So students too, what you should be doing is Grubhubbing your own food and be telling the delivery drivers, meet me in the parking lot, I'll run out and get you. They don't care because they get paid. So I've called all these people and said, don't Grubhub to my school. They don't care. They said, you don't have the authority to do that. Guess what? They're right. So please help us with that. No Grubhub, no DoorDash. Free and reduced meal application. It's not just about the free and reduced meals. There are so many benefits that can come to you and your family if you apply to free and reduced meals. Things like you can take dual enrollment courses for free. You can get the SAT for free. AP courses for free. Extra college classes for free. Some people don't like signing up for free and reduced meals because they feel there's the stigma that when I go up to get my chicken nuggets and chocolate milk, people are going to know I'm free and reduced meal. There is no way of knowing. Everybody puts in their lunch number the same way, so there is no red light that goes off if you're a free and reduced meal student. It's confidential and it is not shared. So if you do feel that you or your family would qualify for free and reduced meals, please sign up for it. Even if you're not sure, sign up for it anyway. You don't lose anything by having the application denied. So just a couple last minute things. So the Frederick High School website, this would be a good picture to take a slide to take a picture of, and I'll kind of get out of the way. But there is our website. It is a new website this year. We try to update it as much as we can. Another website, it's not on here, it just occurred to me I should have put on, it's called cadetathletics.com. Even though it's called Cadet Athletics, that's where we put all the school spirit stuff. So obviously there's a lot of athletic stuff on there, but our band does something cool, that goes on there. We have a pep rally, that goes on there. Students in AP Bio are doing something cool, that goes on there. So if you want to know more of the fun stuff that goes on in Frederick High School, cadetathletics.com. School Cash online, so if you want to prepay your students' lunch accounts, you can do that. I do believe that if you had money left over from middle school, it travels up with you, but just check into that, be sure it's there. Senior photos, if you haven't had your, well, I don't think there's any seniors here, but underclassmen photos, so Fall Picture Day is September 14th and 15th, with a retake on the 16th. Everybody gets a picture, everybody gets a photo ID, so come looking pretty on the 14th and the 15th. So, oh, I said it was going to be 20 minutes, it was an hour. So I'm sorry, but I was close, not really. Again, guys, this was a lot of information. And now my computer's about to restart, so that worked out. This is a lot of information to throw at you. I was literally sitting in your chair at another school this time last year, and it gave me a new appreciation being on the other side of it. Anything we can do to help you out, we are here. This is a partnership. So thank you for coming. You have until 7:30 to see where your classes are. And students, I look forward to seeing you bright and early at 7:30 next Wednesday.